We've seen some amazing innovations and opportunities over the last couple of days. Yesterday, seeing Judson as a German firefighter, now that was an innovative idea, one I didn't think I'd ever see. Your innovative idea, though, is just the beginning. Once you develop your solution, you still need to build a business around it. Without that, your innovative idea is really just a science experiment, an academic exercise. What do I mean by that? Have you ever had that truly brilliant idea where you could see success and you had it all worked out in your head? And then you went to execute on it, and it kind of all fell apart. This has happened to me many times, but none so obvious as this. I was a psych major, and I studied all about the effects parents have on their children. And so I developed some very clear ideas and opinions on proper parenting. No pacifiers, no sugar, and no Barbie was ever going to come into my house. And then I had kids. And I realized that a pacifier really could be your very best friend. It's the difference between knowing something and experiencing it. And I think you can all relate. For your business, your idea is the what. What are you going to build your business on? Implementing it and executing it, it's the how. And it's what really matters. Because your solution is only 1/3 of the equation. The other 2/3, well, that is all about having a business model that's profitable and sustainable, and a go-to-market motion that enables you to get customer reach and relevance. Because that is when you really breathe life into your solution and into your business. We spend a lot of time talking about the what. What you can do with Microsoft, what you can do with the technology, what you can do with our customers. I want to spend just a few minutes talking about how. Because when you can bring the what and the how together, that is when the magic really happens. So let's take a look at one partner who was able to do just that.
The key challenge for wastewater is about managing and protecting the environment. Helping and supporting and protecting the environment is kind of ingrained in our DNA. My role and my team's role is to help to make wastewater a better place for tomorrow.
The people inside wastewater, from a cultural perspective, really worked well with us. We had the domain knowledge, they had a very specific knowledge on the local market, and jointly we really built something that makes a difference.
The partnership was put together initially to help us understand what we needed as a company. Hitachi, I think, bring a wealth of knowledge that we didn't have, and we recognised that we weren't experts in that area. So we looked around in the marketplace to see who would be a good fit.
The Southwest Water solution, alongside with all of its components, Microsoft, ourselves, the different processes, the IoT devices, the whole supply chain across the plants was just really a perfect match for us.
When the development was going on, you could have walked into a development room and you wouldn't have known who was IS who was wastewater and who was Hitachi. On the wastewater side of the business, we have wastewater treatment works, pumping stations, which takes wastewater from customers and takes that to those sewage treatment works, and pipe work and infrastructure that connects all of that together.
We spent a long time assessing an on-premise approach or a cloud-based approach, and both in terms of the scalability but also the cost, the cloud approach came out strongly as the preferred option.
We need to be much more responsive. We need to be able to scale up and meet the demands of our internal customers much more quickly and much more efficiently.
They had a lot of data that they weren't currently processing or taking actionable insight from. So putting that together in one platform that's accessible to the whole organisation is important. Having water industry expertise, knowing some of the use cases in the water industry, knowing that what we know about predictive maintenance and sensors and the way we deal with that data enable us to go in and have a conversation that said, you know, if you approach the problem this particular way, if you become more agile in the way that you serve your data to the business, we think there's some real opportunities.
And we've worked with areas of the organisation including maintenance, operations, wastewater treatment and beach water quality. We're leveraging the power of the Microsoft Azure platform, both from an advanced analytics and data collection perspective. That helps us get up and running much quicker and innovate rapidly together.
We are now enabling them to use a lot of their data in a more effective way, and we're closing the loop back into actions they need to do in order to be more efficient.
And we've been able to respond to 3 pollutions much faster than we would have been able to respond in the past.
Water is one of the scarce resources that people have today. What we have is the capability and the depth of industry knowledge to look at specific regions or specific problems and take those and lift them up. And the way we do that, again, we co-create with some local customers or partners, and we take that information, that IP, and we build a solution that is specific, but we do that with the mindset of how can this be transformational within the industry. We're doing that by really some of the IP, some of the unique solutions that we have, and giving Hitachi those solutions so we can address those problems globally.
What I love about Hitachi's story is that it really illustrates 4 things. 1, you need to understand the customer's full context. In order to deliver on a customer's digital transformation, we need to be able to look beyond the technology outcomes and think about the business outcomes, the customer's success factors. You need to understand their industry, their vertical, their point of view. And for that, you need a product manager. You can do what Hitachi did and bring somebody in as a subject matter expert from the field, or have a really strong customer advisory board. Second thing is, you need the technical chops, the competency, and the capability to deliver on that solution. And if you can't do it end to end, bring in another partner or 2 or 3 to deliver on that value to the customer. And 3, you need a business model that scales. One where you can deliver that solution over and over and over again in a repeatable way, so that with each customer engagement, you lower your cost of delivery, you lower your overhead, and you increase your profitability. And finally, you need to create space for innovation and learning, because you will have some great success, and you'll also make mistakes. And you need to be able to learn from both. Microsoft is in the same boat. We have had some great success, thanks to many of you. And we've had a lot of learning moments. We have innovated on our engineering and our services, and we've innovated on our business model, but we have lagged in the innovation in our sales model, and it shows. We have challenges in customer engagement and some missed opportunities that I frequently hear about from all of you. And it's time to change. But I want to share with you what was my my personal moment of truth when I really realized that. So last fall, I was on a European tour, and I was visiting 4 countries in a week, and I brought a little of Seattle with me because it managed to rain every day in every country that I visited. And so there I was on the last leg of the trip, and I was in a room with 4 partners on kind of a dark and rainy day in what is notably one of the most cloud progressive countries in the world, in Denmark. Okay, so maybe you remember this meeting. And as I was listening to their voices and the voices of all the partners that I'd heard that week, it kind of hit me like a bolt of lightning. They had changed. They had changed, and we had not kept up. And now we were getting in their way. And we were missing opportunities together because we were constraining ourselves through our licensing, through our customer segmentation, through our geographic boundaries. We were missing opportunities, and we were asking the wrong questions. It's like we had become so familiar. We've worked with you so long, and we got into such a routine that if your business was a house, we were walking into your house without knocking, walking into the kitchen, dropping off the keys, and walking out the door. And we failed to notice that you built an addition of 2,000 developers in the living room, that you built a data center in the backyard, and that you may have even rewired your entire upstairs with a new customer support organization. It's almost as if when my daughter comes home from college, as long as that well-worn tread from the front door to the refrigerator to her bedroom hasn't changed, she may not notice any other changes that I make in the house. So that, I'm telling you, like, we've asked you to change, right? I think I stood on this very stage last year talking about transformation and change. We asked you to change, and you did, and then we didn't notice. I told you that day in Denmark, I noticed, and I realized we needed to change. And when we did, there were 3 things we needed to make sure that we changed. 3 questions that I hear from all of you everywhere that I go. Number 1, how do I engage with your field? Number 2, why are you so complicated? And number 3, how do we show up better together when we go to the customer? So I thought about that. And what I realized also when I reflected on that day in Denmark is that, we had changed. We had been making various program changes and offer changes and, addressing things for different partners every day. I mean, I listen and take action on your behalf every day. But what we weren't doing is we weren't getting to the root cause. We weren't fixing the core so that we could fix it for all of the partners all of the time. And in order to do that, we had to create space for learning and innovation. And we had to take big, bold action. So we are making the biggest change to our sales model that we have in over a decade. And you heard a little bit about this from Ron and a little bit about this from Judson. But what I want to do is share with you the backstory. And I'm going to answer all 3 of the questions that you ask me everywhere that I go. So let's start with the first one. How many of you do know how to engage with our field? Okay, I really don't see that many hands up. It needs to be simpler. It needs to be clearer. We need to do a better job. So I took a look. I said, okay, well, for us, it starts with a role that we call a partner sales executive. But we've changed this role many, many times. And I think we asked this individual to really be like superhuman. I think they all have a red cape. And we asked them to wear way too many hats because we asked this individual to be your account manager, help you build your business, skill up all of your people, understand the opportunities in the market, co-sell with you, bring you into the customers, and bring you into our field. And it's really way too much for one person, even the best of them, to do. And I think in their haste to try and do it all, they resort to a little bit of that shorthand with you that sounds a little bit like revenue and scorecard. And that conversation doesn't really help you grow your business. And I don't think it really helps them either. And so what we need to do is change the conversation. And in order to change the conversation, we really have to split it into two. One that's all about helping you build your business, and the other one that's all about helping you sell your solutions. And they're very different conversations. So on the one hand, the conversation with your account manager can sound a lot more like, hey, what is your 3-year business plan? How can I help you build the capabilities in your business to get there? How can I help you expand, extend, and grow your business anywhere in the world? And then on the other hand, with your channel manager, a conversation that sounds more like, hey, tell me about your latest solutions, your latest offers. Tell me about your latest success with your customer. Help me understand who is your ideal buyer, and how can I help you find the right solutions to connect to? So let's spend a little bit more time on this role that we're calling a channel manager, because this is a role that we have never had in my 22 years at Microsoft. But I'll tell you, you know who this person is. This is the person who can walk into a room of 1,000 people, and they know everyone. They know everyone's names. They know the names of your children, and they know your favorite sports. This is the person who has like 12,000 connections on LinkedIn. Because the role of this individual is to know all of the solutions that you offer and all of your sellers so that they can help get them connected to the customer who needs them. This individual's job is not to be your partner account manager, not to line up with one partner, but to help build an entire partner ecosystem around every single customer in their patch. And they do that by sitting in on the territory and opportunity reviews with their account executives and their sales specialists. They do this by managing the P-seller community. They do this by helping partners find other partners to build better solutions together and bring them into their customers in their patch. And they're measured on customer success with and through partners. And this individual will work with any partner, as long as that partner has the competency and the capability and the customer references to deliver the right solution to their customer. They will bring you in because they want to drive that success. On the other hand, you have your partner development manager. And your partner development manager is lined up 100% with you and your success. Now, we have had a role, many roles, called partner development manager. But this is not the role that you know, because this individual is not measured on a license type, on a customer segment, on a geography, or on a workload. This individual and their success is measured and aligned with you and your success, your growth, your profitability, your ability to reach all the customers anywhere in the world. By enabling us to split this role into two and think about your business for the long term and our business together in the short term, we create more of a balance around enabling customer success with and through partners and partner success. So that's how we are going to simplify our engagement and help you engage with our field. Now, in the process of fixing our how, I made the mistake of actually opening our hall closet, and a whole bunch of other what kind of came tumbling out. This was like programs and offers and licenses. There was some Select 3 in there. I think way back in the closet there was a little NT4. And what I realized is that it's not enough to fix how we do work. We have to fix what we're doing. And that your second question about why are you so complicated is because we haven't really cleaned the closet out in over a decade either. And every time you want something, we say, oh yeah, let's just go into the hall closet and find it. That's not that simple. And so we are going through a digital transformation of our own. We're fixing our programs, we're fixing our licensing, we're fixing our offers to make it easier for you. And if you haven't visited our booth down in the Commons, I would encourage you to go talk to my team down there. We're also going to fix our go-to-market. So how does 4 sound? Just 4. 4 core solutions. These are the 4 core solutions that you heard from Satya on Monday. And we are going to build everything about our go-to-market around these 4 core solutions. Our sellers will be organized around it, our marketing, and our offers. And so yesterday, Judson talked about how these 4 core solutions can help us build towards the 4 customer outcomes that we're trying to drive. What I want to share with you is your opportunity with these 4 core solutions. Now, you've heard from us a couple of times this week about this $4.5 trillion opportunity. It's a trillion with a T. But did you know that according to IDC, for every $1 of Microsoft revenue generated, we generate $9.01 into the partner ecosystem. So that's a 9-to-1 ratio. That's pretty good. So how do we help you capture that opportunity? So, why don't we talk about that? Let's start with the modern workplace. The modern workplace, that's Microsoft 365 for the enterprise, which is Office 365, Windows 10, and EMS, or Microsoft 365 for business, essentially the same capabilities tailored to the medium business, much like Small Business Server, which I know many of you still love, was tailored to that medium business customer. That opens up opportunities around security, around compliance, around teaming and communications and collaboration. It opens up what Brad was just talking about 10 minutes ago on GDPR, which is a $3.5 billion opportunity just in the next 12 months. Let's talk about the second opportunity around business applications. That's Dynamics 365 with LinkedIn integration. You saw how cool that was from Melissa. Opening up opportunities in customer service, field service operations, talent management, in new areas in retail and finance. I mean, if you're going to have a product manager, this is where you need your product manager. And then, if you've been paying attention to the news, we also just released a new Vcloud Embed license that enables you to embed Power Apps and Dynamics 365 into your applications through CSP, which opens up at least 100-fold of surface area for all of you to build even more. And then the third area, data and artificial intelligence. Did you know that less than 1% of the world's data is analyzed, and less than 20% is secure? There's a big opportunity. It opens up opportunities in big data, data warehousing, machine learning, predictive analytics, cognitive services, and artificial intelligence. Data is at the heart of every customer's business. You want to be at the heart of their business. And so if you don't have data integrated in all of your solutions, you should think about that. And then applications and infrastructure. That's our friend, the intelligent cloud, the intelligent edge. That's a platform. That's unlimited opportunity. But what customers are really looking for, they're looking for cloud networking, cloud storage, application migration, data center optimization. I don't know a customer today that's not looking to shed their infrastructure, utilizing things like Azure Stack so you can provide that full hybrid solution. In areas on Linux, where you can get to SAP, Red Hat, and SQL on Linux. In new areas like gaming and digital media and e-commerce. This is a $500 billion cloud opportunity. Huge. By simplifying and focusing on just these 4 core solution areas, what it enables us to do is to curate an opportunity and a set of resources for you so that we no longer have to ask you to come into the hall closet and find what you're looking for. And instead, we can fall focus on actually going out and growing our business together. So I've talked about how we're going to simplify the field engagement and simplify our go-to-market. Is it enough? It's not, because there's still that third question that you ask me, which is how do we show up better together to the customer? And in order to answer that question, we actually have to think about incentives. Are our sellers, your sellers and our sellers, incented to drive the same outcomes at the same time? And so we've done a lot of work on that so that in our partner incentives, we're focused on those 4 core solution areas and the strategic products there. In our field incentives, we're focused on those 4 core solution areas and the strategic products in there, 100% alignment. But that's not enough, because there's this funny thing called CSP-EA conflict. And I get emails from you every day in my inbox about it. And we have to fix that. So I have a top 10, but I'm only going to share with you the top 3. So the first thing that we changed is that our sellers will get a incentive, an accelerator, to give them the total contract value of every Office 365 seat you sell through CSP. Number 1. Number 2, we want them to sell your package solutions. So this new Vcloud Embed license that you can sell through CSP gives us end customer value, which enables us to pay our sellers on it. coupled with deal registration for Azure that Ron talked about, enables us to actually incent our sellers to sell your solutions. And then Ron talked about how we are only going to pay our sellers on Azure consumed revenue. Now, that's not just our sellers. That's all the way up to our enterprise sellers. That's our field management. That's our country GMs. Will only be paid on Azure consumed revenue. So you know what that means? That means they need you. Because when you sell an Azure solution, an Azure service, the consumption is 4 times higher. And so they will want you in every single deal that they close. And that is how we drive alignment 100% between what you want to drive as an outcome and what we want to drive as an outcome. So we have spent time to address the top 3 questions that I hear from all of you all the time. And what we've done is put you at the center with our customers so that you can close that last mile with all of your solutions around our 4 core solution areas. So we've done a lot of work for you, and I have 3 requests of you this year. Number 1, keep giving us feedback. We all need more Denmark moments. Number 2, we've simplified our engagement, our go-to-market, and our resources. Please take advantage of that. And number 3, this is the biggest change that we have made in over a decade. And so we need your help to make this successful. We need your help to unlock this opportunity. Change is really exciting. The opportunity is really big, but it's also a little scary. And I know this firsthand because last month, as I sat in the audience watching my daughter cross the threshold of her graduation, and I saw what an incredible young, empowered, and strong woman she had become, I had a moment of, ooh. And I thought, I hope I have given her all of the tools and the resources and the support that she needs to go out and achieve her full potential. And as we sit on the threshold of the biggest change I think we have ever made, I have that same moment. I hope that we can unlock this opportunity ahead of us together. I hope that we can achieve our full potential this year together. Thank you.